guys, what's going on? MaxFTE here, and today I'm back with another Pokemon Go video. Today we're going to be going over my top tips for people that are either going to Go Fest New York or going to doing the global Go Fest. My top tips, what I sort of like to do to prepare in advance for that. As somebody that has been to 6 Go Fests now, I want to say, I've been to enough of them to know how to properly prepare, and I'm just going to be giving my sort of tips for that and how I like to prep in advance. So I'm actually jumping in now after I recorded the entire rest of the video. You might notice I did actually get a haircut in between the last clip and now. I wanted to jump in and say, for the rest of the video, I actually speak about in terms of spawns and stuff you're going to want to keep for trades and actual in-game stuff. However, obviously if you're going to these in-person events or even Global Go Fest, tips for sort of the event itself, obviously staying hydrated, make sure you take enough sort of food breaks as well. That's going to be your biggest priority. Don't let yourself sort of run low on energy. Make sure snack breaks, I mean stuff like that, you know, as well as do your sort of own research into the spawns and what you would want, because ultimately I go through the spawns in the rest of the video, but as well, like, do your own research into what you want to keep. Everybody plays the game differently. Nobody's going to have the exact same sort of set of Pokemon that they're going to want to keep and sort of reroll for trades. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to mention as well. To sort of highlight, stay hydrated, make sure you have lots of water breaks, lots of food breaks, keep yourself sort of topped up in energy. New York Go Fest is going to be very hot probably. It was roasting when we were there last year. So this year, again, just sun cream, staying hydrated. And Global Go Fest, same things pretty much apply as well. Have all your battery packs ready, food breaks, that sort of thing. But yeah, let's cut to the rest of the video. So the absolute number one thing, first off, is going to be your item bag space as well as your Pokemon space. You're going to be catching a lot of Pokemon, you're going to be spinning a lot of Pokestops, so making sure that you can clear up on sort of your space, having enough room is going to be really important. For Go Fest Madrid, I had probably about 200 spaces. How much Pokemon space you're going to need is basically going to depend on how much stuff you're going to be wanting to keep for trades. For example, if you're going to a Go Fest New York, for example, unknowns that are spawning that people might not have, you know, you might want to take a few of them home. For Go Fest Madrid, there was a lot of these Oricorio spawning, so taking them home for people to trade. It just totally depends on what your sort of goals with the game are and what you're wanting to catch. As well as for your item space, you can bin a whole heap of stuff. I pretty much always only keep my max potions and my max revives. Obviously you're going to be doing a lot of raids, so you're going to be going through a lot of Pokemon, but at the same time there's so many people in the raids, there's going to be getting so many potions and revives and stuff from the raids, so you can get rid of a lot of your max potions and max revives. Out of your Pokeballs, stocking up on a lot of Ultra Balls and Pokeballs is going to be really handy. Obviously your Pokeballs for the catchers with your automatic catchers, Ultra Balls for if you're manually catching or using the Pokemon Go++. Great Balls are handy to have if you've got the space, but if you're going to have to cull down on Pokeballs, I would get rid of your Great Balls first. Berries, realistically, you don't really need any of them, to be honest. I can get rid of all of them and be comfortable with it. A couple pineapple berries just in case. You can get rid of a lot of your goldenraz as well, to be honest. At maximum, you only really need 50 at most, I would say. Because realistically, the only thing you're going to be catching with golden raspberries is going to be Pokemon from your raids. Which, again, through raids, you're going to be getting even more golden razes from that. Incense and lucky eggs and star beasts is a tricky one because it's premium items, so you don't really want to bin it, but you don't really need that much. So, but you're going to be using a lot of them on the days anyway, so holding on to them is nice. Rare candy, find a legendary or something to dump a whole heap of rare candy into. For me, obviously Necrozma was new when it came to Pokemon Go Fest, so I dumped like 200, 300 into that. I'll just dump some in there. Rare Candy XL, I definitely wouldn't be getting rid of any of them. Keep that and don't be hasty into putting it into something. No point rushing into it, it's really rare and scarce to come by. So like I say, just hold on to that. Lure modules, glacial lures, all your lures and stuff, hold on to them and just dump down a heap of them on the day if there is room for them. And fast TMs, you can get rid of a heap of them. However, charge TMs I would be keeping, again, depends on what you're sort of doing. If you play PvP a lot, you're going to want to keep your charge TMs. However, if you don't really PvP a huge amount, you're not going to need that many charge TMs. Maybe keeping like 10, 20 of each TM, and then your elite TMs, I would be keeping all of them. I wouldn't be getting rid of any of them. Your evolution items, at most, I would be keeping 5 of each, but even then, you're probably not going to need that at all. So one thing I did mention earlier as well was, in terms of managing your Pokemon space, you might be wanting to sort of keep Pokemon from GoFest to take back for people at home to trade. This is obviously for New York that we're speaking about. Klefki is going to be interesting because it only spawns in France, so that'll be a nice one to take back home for people. Necrozma, that's going to be quite a good Pokemon once you fuse it with Solgaleo or Lunala, so getting a good one for that is going to be quite nice. Keeping them to reroll is going to be quite handy. As well as Rotom, holding on to a couple of Rotom because they only spawn for GoFest. Holding on to them is going to be quite good. For the first habitat, the only thing that's going to be useful for raids is going to be Dratini, so you don't have to worry about hoarding any of these Pokemon. Obviously keeping your shinies that you get is going to be good, but in terms of hoarding them for rerolls, you don't need to worry about any of these. Pidgey and Skarmory are going to be okay for PvP, but that's only if you're into that. So again, the only thing for raids you're going to be wanting to keep is Dratini. Ghostly Woods, there's not anything here that is good for raids, so don't worry about keeping anything. Gligar, Flabébé and Phantom are going to be good for PvP though, so if you want a PvP IV ones for them, hold on to them. Poolside Cabana, nothing here is going to be good for PvP, so don't worry about holding on to them. Scarf Lapras and obviously your costume Pikachus from before, they're going to be quite good to hold on to. And so Chinchou, Mantine and Frillish, they're going to be quite good for PvP. And your Oricorios, your Pau style, you don't actually get that in New York, so hold on to that. As well as your Pom-Pom style, if you're travelling from outside of the US, the Pom-Pom style is going to be quite a good shiny to get. Rugged Quarry, Beldum is going to be quite good as a Metagross, as a steel type attacker, and that's actually it in terms of raid spawns. So to wrap up, your Beldum and your Dratini, that's going to be the only things spawning that are good for raids that you want to hold on to. And Drillbur, well, Drillbur as well actually, we'll add Drillbur in terms of good for raids. Carbink is going to be really good for PvP, Sableye really good for PvP, Shieldon as well as Onix are going to be quite good for PvP, holding on to your candies for them. As well as your unknowns, obviously keep them, they're quite rare. If you get shinies ones as well, hold on to them. In terms of raids as well, getting a good Nihilego, that's going to be really handy, a good Kartana and a good Necrozma. Blacephalon, Buzzwole and Guzzlord aren't really amazing for raids, so I wouldn't worry about getting great ones for them. Obviously your shiny debuts, Ducklet and Swanna, Buzzwole and Necrozma. But yeah, that's about it in terms of the spawns and what you might be wanting to hoard for rerolls. So another thing that I was actually asked as well is, will you need a catcher like your Gotcha or your Pokemon Go Plus? It will help. Obviously at times, you know, it can be a bit overwhelming, all the spawns. You might want to take a break from catching. So it is handy to have, but it's not a need. It is just going to make your time a lot easier, just so you don't have to focus as much on catching everything. Because there's going to be so many raids as well, having your catcher on in the background is going to be really handy, just because obviously you're getting those catches that you wouldn't otherwise be getting. But again, it's not necessary. It's just going to make your time a bit easier. So for Global Go Fest as well, we're going to be going over the spawns, if there's going to be anything worth keeping for raids. Yangmo-O, that's going to be a new shiny. Getting a shiny for that is going to be really good. However, in terms of raids, in the Dawn Meadow, not really anything of any use for raids. Galarian Stunfisk is going to be good for PvP. Pidgey, again, we covered that earlier. Hoot Hoot is not bad for PvP. Ferroseed is quite good for PvP. But again, nothing good for raids from that first habitat, Dawn Meadow. From the Shining Day habitat, Dratini is going to be quite good for raids. Hold on to them, re-roll them, try and get a good IV. Creeping Dusk, Gibble's going to be really good. Litwick is going to be quite good as well as a ghost type attacker. Yeah, that's pretty much it from Creeping Dusk for raids, as well as Darkest Night For raids, Weavile with the evolve of Sneasel is quite good. Dino, as they evolved, Dino when it evolves to Hydreigon is really good. And that's actually it in terms of Pokemon that are good for raids from the habitat. So to recap, Dino, Weavile, Litwick, Gibble, and Dratini. That's about it, really, for everything that you might want to hold on to reroll for good IV ones. Unknowns as well, hold on to them just because they're going to be... to be honest, if for global, you might not need to worry about it. But yeah, hold on to your... Oh, sorry, Incense during habitats. Maractus, I mean, we're still getting this, but they're not really going to be any good for raids, unfortunately. In 5-star raids, Nihilego is going to be good. Pheromosa is quite a good bug-type attacker, but the bug-type itself is quite underwhelming. So you're only really going to be wanting to look for Nihilego, Xurkitree, Kartana, and Necrozma. Getting good IV ones of them is going to be really handy, and that's going to help battle your raids. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't enjoy it, leave a dislike. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya. Peace.